Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm in the middle still of doing all the music theory videos, and I'm going to do some more and touch upon some more things. I think I kind of touched on most of it that needs to be talked about. It's also important that you watch. There's a one on timing. I can't remember what the video was called, but I talked about how to count rhythm and whatnot, and that's really important. But other than that, that's really the nuts and bolts of it. And when you start to overthink it or start to get into even more of the minutia, you can kind of lose a little bit of focus. And so, like, there's a video I did on expanding your blues vocabulary, and that talks about how you can play different scales over the 5 and that kind of thing. And that's a little bit more advanced if you want to get into it and do that. But for the most part, that's like most of the theory stuff that I'm going to do. And I'll do some more where I'm playing and talking. I think the last one kind of really summed it up of how to stack on those triads on top of chords. And I'll do a lot more about chord building and about the vocabulary for that. And you'll see a lot of books have like a lot of... it's really the person that's writing the charts call of how they see it. But they never seem to see it the way I see it, and there's reasons, you know, like they'll call like a G over A instead of an A11, and I like to think of it as an A11 because it lets me know it's the 5, that kind of thing. Anyways, I did want to kind of rant and rave for a few minutes about some stuff. You know, I do follow other people on YouTube and online. And I seem to follow also like a lot of other things. I told you I'm into gun videos. I like watching guys that review cigars. I watch a lot of different things. But where the guitar guys really get to me is it's always about gear. And it's like, it's ad nauseum. And it's like, oh, Summer NAMM went by. Let me tell you who goes to Summer NAMM. No one. No one cares. When you go to Winter NAMM, and I've gone, I want to say from like 97 to like 2013 every year. I've worked many shows. And the problem I have with the NAMM show is in the guitar area, you know, you might see one or two things. There might be a new pedal. Do I need to go to a trade show to see a new pedal? Not really. Oh, they're rolling out this pedal. Some companies roll out amps. And where are they now? And then, you know, the recording industry is really where you get some nice stuff. The speakers, the microphones, the software. Like I remember when Melodyne came out. Those are exciting things. Or new versions of Pro Tools and being able to edit and being able to have the computer almost work the way you think. Those are like exciting things and changes that happen in the industry. As far as a guitar... PRS is coming out with the Silver Sky. Oh my God, who cares? I mean, there's a million people that make a Strat. I'm not knocking PRS for making a Strat. I don't care. But to sit there and try to say that it's revolutionary is like a little ridiculous. But Tom Anderson makes a Strat. John Suhr makes a Strat. G&L makes a Strat. Fender, I don't know if you heard of them. They make a Strat. You can make Strats yourself by calling Warmouth. Don Grosh makes Strats. Nash. Strats. Rebel Relic out of Amsterdam. Strats. There's an abundance. Now, you might say, wow, that's a lot of Strats. No, I haven't even started scratching the surface of how many guitar companies make Strats. So who cares? So that's PRS's big thing is, oh, we're going to unveil this. And then the amplifier, like... yeah, the John Mayer amp, it's decent. It's all right. I don't know. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, Andy Fuchs came out with the ODS. It's awesome. It's awesome. But after he comes out with that, I don't need a NAMM show every year. And I'm sure, and I'm friendly with Andy. I love Andy. I love his stuff. But I'm sure he probably is like, what am I going to bring that's going to excite and change the game? I mean, actually, the ODS 2, when he had the effects loop and everything, that was great too. I love his stuff. I just don't see it as being like, oh, this is like revolutionary. There's just nothing really new and exciting, and I'm not really excited by gear as much as I am about working and playing music as work. So, you know, when I go do a gig, I have a slew of pedals, and I used to play out of my Hot Rod Deluxe. And I was like, you know where the balance was off for me? It was off for me because when I went to play the stuff like Journey and I needed something that had a hard edge, I wanted the Fender Hot Rod to push air, and it won't. It doesn't do what like an amp gain does. And I'm like, I really like pushing air, but I couldn't push air with my Hot Rod Deluxe, and I'm using an Angry Charlie pedal, which, for all intensive purposes, it's friggin' great. I use the Angry Charlie 2, the version 2. They came out with version 3. They came out with Andy Timmons' model. I still like the 2 the best. So that year, when that NAMM show, when they came out with the 3, who cares? It's not as good. Anyways, it's an awesome pedal. But I was lacking that pushing of air. And anyone that plays guitar that's watching this knows what I'm talking about when I say pushing air. So I went on Craigslist, and I found a guy that was selling a single rectifier Rectiverb. I got it, took it to my tech. The sound was cutting in and out, which is probably the reason why the guy sold it in the first place. And my tech was like, yeah, it's got a dirty pot in the effects loop. Let me, he went and did a few things, and it's been flawless ever since. The sound is phenomenal. I get exactly that tone that I was missing out of the Fender. So why am I bringing this up? Because now the clean sounds stink. And it doesn't do what the Fender did, where I was using maybe 8 or 9 different guitar tones that I was using in the Fender that didn't need that sound. And I lost that. So I'm going to go back to using the Hot Rod Deluxe for my FM station band. If I were playing in an original band and it was heavy music, I would just use the Rectiverb because that's doing what I would want it to do. But the Fender, when I use, and people who know me know I have a lot of pedals, so I'm using like the AC booster, and I stack that with the Timmy, and I get that tone in Sarah Smile. Or I take that off, and I put on the Rockbox Boiling Point, stack that with the Timmy, and I get one of these Knights guitar solo tone. I get a lot of different tones with that. And that's just scratching the surface. So I do miss that sound. So it's like, is there that balance? I don't think so. I haven't been able to find it. Now, recently I've been getting a lot of phone calls from friends. And when I say a lot, 2's a lot for me. I don't want to answer my phone. Text me, will you? Can't you say, what can't you say in a text? I have to get in this long You know why I hate phone conversations now? And if she's watching this, pay attention. My friend Cindy. Cindy's going to ask me, actually she'll ask me over Facebook Messenger, but she'll ask me about my Line 6 Flextone, which is right here. This is a Flextone 3 amp. It is a 1x12. It is 75 watts. If I add an extension cabinet, it is 150. Awesome amp. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, no, you can't. But there's a floor pedal over here for it. And the amp's completely programmable that I use, and I program on my laptop, which is right there. Where my thumb is. That's a laptop. And I use that to program it. Well, I can dial in all the sounds, and I used to do a couple of shows with it, and it works great. It works great. Although I did one big show down in Falmouth. It was like some event, and the guy was like, it was too bright. I was like, well, you can EQ it off the board. Yeah, no, I don't like to do that. Anyways, that's so she wanted to know if it was good, if it's too heavy. I don't think it's heavy. She said it was too heavy after she went and looked it all up. But anyways, there's a million questions. Do you have the XL or do you have the Plus? I have the Plus. Do you have the XL? No, I have the Plus. Oh, the sound's good. Can you program it yourself? I mean, it's just like the same questions. I'm like, just go watch it on YouTube. See a guy demo it. Don't bug me. But anyways, the amp is great. It's an awesome amp. And there's a lot of modeling amps that people can use. And for the truest out there that's like, I can tell the difference. No, you can't. No. You can say you can tell the difference, but you can't. I remember Billy Gibbons used to go on stage and he would have like a bunch of Vox amps one year he was doing it. And everyone was like, oh man, his tone was so great. It was awesome. Meanwhile, he's got a Digidesign 11 in the back and he's actually just using all digital modeling amplifiers. But the amps were on stage just for the look. And then I think he even stopped using the amps on stage. He was just like, I don't care. And they don't have amps on stage, but he uses Digi 11. And, you know, that's a cool thing to see at NAMM. But as far as like these guitar guys, and they go on and they talk about these are the cool new things I saw at NAMM. There's nothing cool. Next year, I couldn't tell you what was last year. I couldn't tell you the year before. No one cares. It's all the same crap. Learn how to play. Go work and play. And when you're working and you're playing on guitar, you really just don't care about the minutia of what's coming out every day. It's the people that don't do anything that are like, oh, let me see everything that's coming out. And you know, it's like with guns. When I'm not shooting and I'm not going to the range a lot, I'm watching a million videos going, oh, I want that one, I want that one. Then I go to the range and I'm like, I don't need any of this. I love my gun, I love my gun, you know, and that's it. So I think people, you know, you should be working. And if you're not working, then apply yourself to learn, because music's like such an awesome thing to do, and it's something people can't take away from you. And you know, I never fault anybody for trying, but it's like, you know, I know a bunch of guys that go out and play and they don't try, and that's all lazy, and they don't know anything. And you ask them, hey, what was that chord you were playing? I don't know what I'm playing. I come up with stuff. And well, aren't you special? So you can't repeat it in another key? Like you wouldn't know what it is, or how to even make inversions. I mean, some of the most beautiful chords are like these major sevenths that Alan Holdsworth used to play, which was crazy nice inversions. But you're not going to be able to figure that out because you have no idea what the hell the four notes in the major 7 chord are. I guess what I'm saying is I just wish people cared more about the about playing and improving their playing than being the most on the spot of what gear is coming out. NAMM's back again. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. That's like, to me, you know what that's like saying? It's like they've put 7 guitar centers together under one roof, and you now can walk around. I don't like walking into one, let alone 7. Now, I used to enjoy going to the NAMM show, but it's completely for a different reason. I'm friends with a lot of guys in that business, and I worked in that business, so it's like, to me, it's like a reunion. It's like the 1-year reunion. Everyone gets together and goes, hey, what's going on? You still work for that company? Great, let's go get a beer, let's go eat a burger. That's really what NAMM is. And it's a great place to network. Hey, you still playing with this guy? No, cool, I need you for a set. You know, it all ties in, and that's really what's good about it. Anyways, I do hope the videos that I make are entertaining to some point, and educational in others, and you know, and I do hope you have focus. You know, like I said, I did a video on guitar wood and tone, and basically laid out the laws of physics, and then people tell me I'm an idiot. Like, they don't want to agree with the science because they know better. I mean, that would be like me saying, look, I know people don't fall at the same rate, because I seen 2 guys fall from a tree and one guy hit the ground first. So you're saying the laws of gravity are wrong because you saw someone hit the ground before the other guy? Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I can't stand looking at, like, what I love when NAMM is over. I love when Summer NAMM is over. but over after a few months, because all I get to see is when I go to watch people's videos, they're just talking about like cool products that are out. And usually they're heavy metal heroes, so it's like, Charvel has a new guitar out. Yeah. Oh yeah, they re-released the one from 1982. Oh, the one I saw on Craigslist last week for $200. They're now selling for $1,500 new. Let me get right on that. Anyways, I hope I'm going to have a lot more instructional stuff for you. And I thank all the positive feedback that I've been getting. And I got to go to a gig tonight, so I'm making this short. Very good.
That's kid stuff.
Kid stuff? Well, how about the tunes?
You're right on target. You're right on the money. Everything you said. You hit the nail right on the head with your comments, what you're saying today. You're 150% correct.